Morgan, Rahway, New Jersey, the great WABC. Go.
Yes, good evening, Mark. Mark, I want to point out I just came back from Israel, and it was my 50th visit there, so I know a little bit about what's going on over there.
Wow.
And let me share a few things. On the Syrian border, on the Golan Heights, the only MASH unit, the only medical unit to help Syrians that are wounded with amputations and likewise medical issues is an Israeli medical team.
Wait a minute. I saw that on CNN. I'm sure I saw that on the Joy Reid program on MSLSD. Maybe not. Go ahead.
Let me go on. During the World Cup, the only way that the Palestinians and other Arab nations and neighbors could watch the World Cup was by watching Israeli television with Hebrew commentators. And Israel transmitted the World Cup for free, so all their Arab neighbors watched it for free. Point number two.
Why? Wait a minute. Why?
Why? Because that's the way Israel is.
Well, I wouldn't have done that, but that's just me. Go ahead.
Okay, number three. Right after the war, and I was there on the first day when it broke out, Israel set up another MASH unit on the Gaza border, not for just Israeli soldiers, but specifically for Palestinians and Gazans and Hamas terrorists that were wounded, so it made it easier for them to be treated.
Now,
during the incursion...
slow down. I've got to comment on these things, and I don't see any of this covered by the mass media, period, in this country. Go ahead.
Better one, Mark. One of the mothers or mother-in-law, so I stand corrected, needed an operation. Where was she treated? In Jordan? Egypt? In Gaza? No. In a hospital in Tel Aviv, because the best surgeons for that specific operation, and the Hamas terrorist leader asked permission, and Israel transferred this mother or mother-in-law. I stand corrected on the exact aspect. And the United Nations has the audacity to condemn Israel with human rights violations and not mention Hamas. It is getting...
Listen, the UN, if you expect anything, the UN is a snake pit. You know, many, many years ago, Morgan, I proposed that we set up a different institution of free countries. There's no reason to have a United Nations. We're not united with these Islamo-Nazi dictatorships. We're not united with other genocidal maniacs in our hemisphere and parts of Africa and Southeast Asia. We're not united with any of them. We despise them. So we ought to have a United Nations of free people. And countries can join that United Nations should they somehow rid themselves of these genocidal regimes. But if you're going to say the United Nations, screw the United Nations. We know what that is. That's a snake pit. All right, Morgan, I got to run, brother. God bless you, and thank you for your call.